Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2024 Tennessee State Disc Golf Championships presented by DG1. We are back here once again at Panther Creek, this time in Morristown, Tennessee. Run Productions back in the booth. I am Felix.
And I am Conrad.
Conrad, we're switching venues to a familiar site, a longer, more difficult stretch that's going to prove more challenging to these players. What are you thinking on this track here?
One, you have to survive. Hopefully, you'll survive any mosquito attacks, not mosquitoes, ticks. And two, you'll survive the course. There's two holes in particular that will drain you. We are going to start out with this card with Grady Shue. He had a good showing at the first round. He took the lead here. He has one stroke over a returning champion in Chris Dickerson. Both of them lit up the course in the first round. Let's see if they can display the same prowess during the second.
Yeah, Tony Moe Reiss here, 1035 rated first round for him. First time that we've had the honor of seeing him on our coverage. Left-handed, always fun to have a lefty on the card. And Spinny Boy himself, Meintsma, also shooting a good round to get himself on the lead card here at Panther Creek.
We'll start out here with hole one is a par 5 coming in at 735 feet. The main objective off the tee is to get out into this field. You want to get as far back to the right as you can so that you have a decent approach shot into this small tunnel. You have a left, right, ceiling, everything to contend with to get back to this green, which is about 100, maybe 200 feet from the opening. So first shot placement is extremely critical.
Charlotte, North Carolina, Grady Shue.
Go Grady.
Yeah, we saw Grady tear up the rotary course along with Chris Dickerson. Currently one stroke ahead right now. This is a pretty soft opening hole. It's a par 5, but one that we've seen eagle before, and with the distance that this lead card has, I would be shocked if we see a couple of eagles here.
From Gray, Tennessee, Chris Dickerson.
Just like with most eagles, it's going to take 2 precise shots to get that third one to even be feasible.
A little bit of a different format this year. Last time we filmed this back in 2022, we did Panther,
From
Rotary,
Ohio,
Panther.
Tony Moe Reiss.
But now we've got Rotary followed by back-to-back rounds here at Panther, the more challenging course on back-to-back days. So having to deal with the conditions out here, but also having to deal with the physicality of the course for back-to-back days can definitely play quite the challenge here.
That is a great lefty shot if I ever seen one. Mm-hmm. If I was catch cam, I would have thought it was another
Meintsma.
sort of right-hand backhand the way that it came out.
Yeah. Noah, fun player to watch, puts a lot of spin on the disc, has really great angle control, runs all kinds of shots, so kind of fearless out there on the course. Rocking the Luke Humphreys hat too. Shout out to Luke.
Is he an uncle?
Uncle Luke?
Yeah.
He's everybody's uncle.
All right, so not a straight look into the gap here, but he does have a very good shot through the gap. You still have to make his way to the green. Ooh,
Yeah, green is probably, about 70, 80 feet past the initial opening here?
It's a little further back than that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen the course, so.
Oh, wow, Grady got through a little bit. Yeah, like I said, you want to be as far back and right as you can just so that you're not having that hard angle trying to get into that gap. You want to have a nice shot like this.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, yeah. So you see Noah's over here on the left. I don't know if he really has a straight look at the basket. But he makes something up. He's up there on the green. He'll be putting for a bird.
There's some of that creativity we were talking about. Just finds different ways to get up and down.
Yeah.
Jump approach bid there for Tony.
Mm-hmm.
So looking at the stats here, hole number 1 coming in as looks like the 5th most difficult one to actually the 4th easiest. I'm sorry, 4th easiest on the day. Oh, Chris just short there. A little over a half a stroke under par, 0.65 under par.
Yeah, it's a pretty birdieable hole. You know, you're allowed to make one mistake and still recover and still, you know, get a birdie here.
Oh, that one thought about maybe bouncing out, but stays in place. And Chris will clean up there for the birdie. Got ourselves a star frame to start things out here in the second round. Moving on to hole 2 here. It's a par 3, 295 feet. You see the slant there as the drone flight is taking you down this fairway left to right pretty much throughout the entirety of this hole. This gap here that we're flying through is pretty much the straight line shot for it. Backhand, right-handed players are just going to flip something up this line here and have it just hold. The left side of the slope here kind of helps catch your disc and keep you relatively close to the circle as long as you're not throwing something too fast with a wide rim to get you bouncing left. Be interested to see if Tony has a forehand for this shot or if he's going backhand again.
Well, with the amount of finesse that he put on that drive off the tee on 1, I wouldn't be surprised if he went backhand and just had something that gently drifts over.
Yeah. We saw Grady there piping that gap and getting a nice soft reaction. Chris with a little more hyzer, kind of falling over to the high side.
Nope, we're going forehand.
Yeah.
We put some juice on that. Yeah.
Have to see where that ends up for him. This is a tailor-made Noah Meintsma shot here. Nice stable shot. Yep. Might have yanked it over a bit more than he would have liked, but it looks like the results are going to be good for him.
No problem for C-Dick there to pick up another bird.
Yeah, speaking of good results, 2 for 2 start there for Dickerson on the day.
Oh, he didn't end up too bad. Oh.
Touch high there on the putt. Noah cleaning up for the birdie as well here on the second. That means Grady's going to be closest to the pin on these drives. The center count continues. Still only what was it? 3 off center putts so far on the weekend.
Wait, 3 off center that went in, or just 3 off center total? I don't
Just
know.
in total, I think. We'll see.
Hole 3, another eagleable par 5 coming in at 625 feet. I say it's eagleable as long as you can avoid all of these trees. What we're going down right now is actually the fairway. So you go down the fairway, find your line, and it's not really a poke and pray because there is a lot of skill involved with getting here. But once you get to the green, you want to avoid being too high or too low. Really just want to be right in the bowl with it to have a nice easy putt. Let's see if we can get through the gauntlet of trees in the fairway to have a clean look. And Grady finds a tree in the fairway, kicked off to the right.
I think that might have been his dynasty there. This is relatively straight to stable fairway. Chris, that's
Chris
more
flipping
the line
something up. And yeah, that's ideal. It's like he's been here before.
Time or two. He's been to the winner's circle 7 times at this event if you count his AM win as well. And Noah,
Very nice.
beautifully thrown.
That'll be good. Hopefully it didn't stay too straight and end up on the right side and end up being blocked out. We'll see. But we see Tony here has a very confident forehand.
Ooh, good skip as well. Grady weighing the options. Oh my God, he just misses that tree on the left and gets very good forward progress.
Oh, yeah. Chris is on the left side of the fairway here. See if he finds a line that he likes to get him to the basket.
He gets that high drift over to the right.
Just go in.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Beautifully done.
It's hard to tell how close that is, but it looks like he's definitely inside the circle. Tony with another good forehand here. Playing up. Oh.
I don't know if that kept rolling.
Yeah, it has a potential to continue rolling another 30, 40 feet.
This needs to hook up quick.
Yeah, it's not going to.
Oh.
So Grady looked like he trickled down some. So he's going to go with another forehand here.
Very nicely done there. Noah, this is his eagle look.
Oh, just a little wide right.
Sits down and stays close. Tony, after going forehand, has this left for his eagle look. And converts.
Yeah, gets it. I'm going to say it. See, Zach lefties can get an eagle here.
Zach got a 2 on this hole back in 2022.
I don't recall that. Never happened.
It wasn't on our card, unfortunately.
What the rule is if
It's not on video,
no
never
video, no
happened.
proof. Yeah.
Yeah. We had a nasty throw-in from about where Tony was for it. Chris picking up the eagle as well on this one. Coming in as the 7th easiest on the day. Just a touch under a half a stroke under par. 0.51 under par for this one. That brings us to hole 4, which is a par 4 at 660 feet. The slope continues here. It's a bit of a trend on these opening holes. Left to right, but you're also going uphill. Trying to get anywhere into this clearing here to set yourself up for your second shot, which is pretty much wide open. Not much out of bounds, if any, really, to contend with on the second shot. The right side there is your trouble to avoid. Coming up short on the hill also can be a little bit tricky there. But really, as long as you find your way out of this gap in the opening, it's pretty simple for these guys to navigate that second shot.
Yep.
Chris right now, birdie, eagle start to the day. Grady and Noah, birdie, and they're still losing a stroke. That should be okay, I think.
Yeah, it crested the hill, so there's that one tree up there that you want to aim at and get past or to. And both of those shots have done that.
Yeah.
Well, Grady here going with a nice
like
flexion
that play.
shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Force over something stable on that line and let it fight its way naturally around that S turn and get out into the opening. Meintsma
It
looking
may
to line up
even be
something
lucky
insane.
enough to get a little roll. Noah there got kicked to the right, so he is still fighting just to get out into the open. All right, Tony with a shot out there to the open.
Meintsma going with the backhand approach here. Getting himself, looks to be inside the circle. Grady
got a good roll down with that forehand, because we know he didn't land there. He had to get some action off the hill to get to the bottom there.
Right.
Which means that Chris is even closer?
He should be.
Wow.
He is. Yeah, that's incredible.
Just a little standstill up shot to the basket. That's wow.
I can't believe it.
Tony here. Oh, wow.
Nicely done, Tony. Run that in, sir. Getting the birdie
Great
on
bird.
4. A hole that's not giving up a lot of birdies. Actually, he's playing slightly above par.
Yeah, if you don't make it out that initial gap, that's what... Oh, sit down? Okay. Yeah, if you don't make it out that initial gap, yeah, you can par's a stretch.
Yeah, you can take a number out here for sure. The machine continues. Yeah. Great start for Chris. Getting everything and then some so far. Fortunately, a bogey there for Noah and Grady.
With the birdie as well. This is a great little opening stretch here. All right, here comes this monster of a hole. I'm getting a cramp right now just looking at it. This is a hole 5, par 4 coming in at 420, but the elevation on this hill is not something that you can put into scale with the drone footage, or you have to be there in person to climb this mountain of a hill. It easily adds another 100 to 150 to the distance of this. I can't stop talking about how much the hill is, because that's the only thing I can think about when I'm looking at this hole. You want to go up that gap and just move slowly to the left, but it's just, it's such a difficult shot to execute.
It's a full power drive to try to get about halfway up.
Yeah.
And if you've done that, you've thrown a crush.
And you want to stay on the hill. The hill is steep enough that you're walking up on your toes.
Oh, yeah.
So a disc could easily end his way back down if it doesn't land properly or gets a back kick.
Yeah. And then the footing itself for your execution of your second shot, you could easily just lose your balance. You're falling backwards on your shot.
Yeah.
Grady finding one of the flatter spots on that actual hill. Being on that slightly right-hand side gives you a little bit better traction, but it also pinches your angle a bit on the approach.
It does.
That's a good shot there for Noah.
Mm-hmm. You sort of just slide back a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Here's that right side we're talking about. Actually, a little better if you're a lefty here. Tony has a little bit of an advantage where he can actually just throw a flat to hyzer shot here like that and have the disc naturally fade back towards the pin.
He's still fighting uphill, though. So, I mean, like, the basket is still well above your head here. And
that's not good.
Yeah, he didn't get it up high enough at all.
I wasn't even thinking about that. Just catch it. You were ready.
So you're still throwing a nose-up shot no matter what you're throwing.
Yeah, and that's a high-speed driver that Grady is throwing on his second shot, just to give you an idea of how much uphill and distance you still need to cover. Chris trying to get flexy with one.
Yeah. Not bad. The further left you go, the more like you are to have an open look at the basket. It's a little crowded on the right once you get up there. Or as you get up there, I should say.
Yeah.
Tony with a long bid here.
See the pin there. Nice approach.
Yep.
Jeez, another one for Chris.
He just doesn't want to let anything go.
6 down through 5. What a start.
Grady getting his bird as well.
Mm-hmm. Doing his best to try to keep up. He is.
I mean, that's 5 through 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Noah with his par. and Tony taking the same.
What a hole. Yeesh. And welcome back to the action. Hole 6. You've made the climb all the way up this hill and you're rewarded with a very tight, challenging, almost finicky par 3, 400 feet downhill. The drone is taking what the course designer wants you to throw, not necessarily what these guys are going to throw. A very specific, tight, almost horseshoe shaped hyzer that you need to throw to get down here. But you may see some guys try to cut the corner and throw across the tee pad like what Chris is lining up here. I've even seen people go even further left of this gap. And he seems to like it.
Thank you.
Grady going up the traditional gap with the hyzer, and that Y tree there is kind of the one to be either inside or outside of it.
You typically want to be inside of a pushing, more like that, but that may be too inside.
Yep. I wonder if a forehand roller would work on this hole.
There's only one way to find out.
Yeah.
There you go.
A late one.
Yep.
It's just a tricky hole.
It is. I mean, the fairway's there. It's just lined with trees, so it's kind of a poke and pray.
It absolutely is. Grady with a beautiful touch. He approached there to get himself a look.
Tony looks like he's lining up another forehand here. Something overstable to push out and then come back. Pushes out the gap and fights back. He should have a look there too.
Mm-hmm. Good execution. Noah went a little too far, a little too straight, and got the right side kick. So now he's fighting back across the fairway, and this looks fantastic.
I don't know if that was fighting. That looked like a straight shot. That might be the play. Oh, he went long.
He did. Ooh, very touchy little bid there.
Where is Chris?
He's lining up a stepper wherever he is.
Yeah. Okay. So he didn't go long. He was just like right at the circle. It was
just right side of it.
Ideal placement.
And that's the first non-birdie or eagle that we're going to see for Chris Dickerson on this round.
First par for Grady.
Mm-hmm. Chris keeping pace there. A couple of tap-ins for these guys here to finish out the sixth.
We just mentioned hole 6 being like a horseshoe, where hole 7 follows the same route. You want to get out this gap. Hopefully moving from left to right. You can go straight, but that's just going to make the hole a little bit more longer for you, because once you get out here, you're going to have to make this right turn and then come back up the hill that you just kind of went down. There is a roller play option here. There is most of these guys aren't going to play it short and play across. They're really going to try to get out there. That gives you more options as far as approaching versus playing short and then cutting across, although that is an option. Yeah, this looks like a roller.
He plays this vortex roller almost every time on this hole. Just wants to get it out on the right, let it cut back over the field on the left, and then curl over to the right again. We go from the hardest hole on the course, statistically on average during round 2, to the third easiest here at hole 7.
Yeah, That right there is just that's the shot. You just push it out there, have it moving to the right. You'll have an easy up to get to the green.
Yeah, there's no sense in making this hole harder than it has to be. It's pretty much a gift of a birdie if you just execute the first shot out of the gap here.
Now that shot looked like he may have cut close to the trees that were on the right, though.
Yeah.
Like he may not have pushed far enough. Yeah, and that's the case here. He's down on the knee trying to cut across.
Finds the patch of skippy grass and gets a.
Oh,
that's
he
not
got a good
fair.
skip, but not a good roll. That's not bad. He's still putting.
Yeah.
Just outside the circle's edge there. But this is where you're typically going to end up, where Grady is, and just
Getting that one nice and high, letting it drop down. Looks like his berg there.
that's what I would expect it to be, a berg.
Got Tony lining up a shot here. Floating one up.
Wow.
Chris, yeah, got down there looking for the eagle.
Circle 2, and just shy.
Trying to get his second eagle of the front nine there. No, a little high right. Not quite dialed in with the putt yet.
Grady textbook birdie there.
Mm-hmm.
Tony was doing the same.
No, unfortunately, he's going to have to settle for the par there, and Chris will have a drop in for his birdie.
Oh, man, such a disappointing birdie.
Hole 8, this one a par 3, 405 feet. Elevation plays from start to finish here. Very tight, narrow corridor here that you're going to navigate. It is not out of bounds left or right. It's pretty much natural to be if you go in there. You want to maintain as much as you can in the middle of this fairway here. You'll see forehands, backhands. You'll even see rollers really come into play as a prominent shot on this one. It's a good way to kind of keep your disc in the middle while fighting gravity going up the hill here. Bit of a bonus birdie this one at 405. Tough one to get.
Yeah, I think, did I see this ranked number 2?
Chris got down on a good
Oh, that's a good roller.
bounce. Nicely done.
He's going to turn over. He may be a little short outside the circle, but he's going to have a clean look at the basket for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, you're correct. This is the second hardest hole on the course in round 2. Grady smokes this up the right side. Just needs a little bit of fade at the end, and he's going to be golden. That looks great.
Looks like he stayed out. Yeah, even if you're just 1 foot into the rough there, you're taking the birdie off the table.
Tony needs that to settle, and
he does. It's still going to be a very long look over the crest of the hill from where he's at. Noah going with the roller.
Yep. This needs to hurry, though.
It did not turn. So he's going to end up on the left side there. Don't know how far in he's going to be.
That should be okay there for Tony. Yeah, Noah a bit of a
weird
blind
angle.
approach.
Yeah.
Does good to fight his way back over. Down he'll have an uphill putt.
Grady with a long bid. That ends up being an upshot. That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Chris, this is Chris range.
Absolutely. Stepper.
Yep.
Count it. Back on the birdie train for Chris.
Eight through 8.
Mm-hmm. Noah having to contend with the ceiling here.
Yeah, having to go down to a knee.
Oh, no.
Noah has been just getting the worst reactions around the green.
Still got a low ceiling on this one.
Oh,
Too
wow.
many hits that one coming back. Wow. Way to focus up and hit that comeback.
That's a great putt.
It was. Tony for the par. Connects.
And Grady's going to tap in his par as well. All right, hole 9. This is a bomber hole here. You just want to take out your drive and throw it as far as you can without going to the left. If you make it over to the right to the road to the OB, congratulations. You want to get down enough far on the right so that you can actually have a good look at the basket, because you can see the basket if you can get far enough down. That makes the approach just a little bit easier to judge the distance and not go too far or end up in any trouble.
Yeah, really the first time this round that you get to just open up, like you were saying. And there she goes. Out on hyzer. It's probably that nuke that Chris was throwing on some of the holes in the previous round. Grady, I'm guessing this is an Emperor. That is blasted.
Yep, looks like it. Those two should be by each other, really.
Yeah. There's definitely an advantage being on that right side. Well, the lefty forehand. Oh, that's out there, too.
Yeah. I was expecting to see a shot similar to the one that he threw on hole 1, but he's showing some versatility there.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a little too inside. That might end up in the trouble. Yeah, that's the place that you... left is the only place that you don't want to be in here.
Yeah. He's going to have to punch out a little forehand baby roller to get back into position.
That's good, though. Punching it out far to the right so that he has a better look at the basket and an easier approach angle.
Tony, a little bit of a tighter line than he might have liked, but he's doing well to keep it right into that gap.
He should be looking. It didn't look like it trickled down from the green at all.
Noah needs to put this close to save that par, and it looks like he's done that.
Yeah, Chris can basically see the basket from where he's at.
Yeah, that means Grady. Yeah, Grady's almost head on with it.
He
What
is.
a drive, jeez.
You know how much flexing I would have to do to get even close to that far? With the wind assist.
Yeah,
Oh, look at this. This is some good golf.
it is. That was the furthest one. The rest of these guys are all pinned.
Yeah. Will's right there saving his par. Not bad after a good scramble. And another birdie for Chris Dickerson. Taking a look at the leaderboard, we see Chris has made his way up to the top. Now Grady's chasing him. With a few other people in the mix here. Benjamin, Brandon Brown, Tony still there, Jackson Hester, all making a push here on day 2, second half.
Yeah, it's been a fun one so far. Chris in the middle of something here. He's 9 down through 9 to close out this front 9 here. Appreciate you guys checking out the action here from the 2024 Tennessee State Disc Golf Championships. Make sure to check us out on all of our socials at Ace Run Pro. Hit that like and subscribe button. Big shout out to our Patreon community, our Ace Runners, making this coverage possible. Thanks for all you guys do to help us stay on the road. We'll see you right back here for the back half of this second round, 2024 Tennessee State Disc Golf Championships.